Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm giving you a rundown and my review of the T-Mobile checking account, T-Mobile Money. I promise this isn't a used car salesman pitch. It is, though, a new bank account pitch advertising up to 4% interest rate cash money back on your money deposited into the account for the first $3,000, 1% thereafter. Now, why is this such a big deal? This T-Mobile Money account has been out for a year or so now, but some of us may know that a year, 2 years ago, there were other great accounts out there offering 1.5 up to 2% interest. So this one didn't really catch many people's eyes or get as much attention because it's only capped at that first $3,000 in deposits. But fast forward a year, fast forward a pandemic, and now we're sitting at record low interest rates. It's great if you're trying to borrow money at that low and cheap interest rate, but if you're trying to save money in a bank, it's not going to be as good for you. A lot of the traditional high yield savings accounts we saw earlier from Ally Bank, markets by Goldman Sachs, and other banks have dipped from 1.5%, 2% now down to 0.5% or 0.6% APY. So this is where T-Mobile Money comes in to save the day. Who would have thought that a mobile telephone carrier would have one of the most lucrative bank accounts on the market? And I'm going to run through some of the pros and some of the cons and some of my experience using this account. As always, if you have your thoughts, let me know down below. Maybe your experience is different, or maybe you're finding other accounts that are great as well that are online. This is just from my research, from what I've seen. But let's get into it. So right off the bat, this account gives you an insanely high yield on the first 3%. 4% interest on the first $3,000 deposited into your account. This works out to about an extra $120 a year if you just keep that $3,000 in your account and growing. But the good news doesn't stop there. After the first $3,000 in your account, you gain 1% on anything above 3,000. So if you have 20,000, you'll gain 4% on 3,000 and 1% on the other 17,000, which is amazing. Given the rates that we just walked through, Ally Bank, one of the more popular high yield savings accounts out there, is only giving 0.5, 0.6% right now. So even looking beyond that initial 4% on $3,000, you're still getting 1% on everything else, which is almost double what others are giving you on your entire deposit. So this is truly game-changing as of now. But I do want to note, if you're watching this video maybe a couple months later, a couple years later, interest rates, as you know, change over time. They change constantly. 2 years ago, we saw some of the highest rates out there, 2%, now 0.5% or less. So this will change over time. Be sure to check the websites, check the online portals for the most up-to-date interest rates. And also what's great about this is there are some cons which I will talk about, but from what I was able to look online, you don't actually have to be a T-Mobile customer to qualify for that 1% rate. I guess I'll just talk about the requirements. What's the catch? Right? In order to earn that 4% on your first $3,000, you have to have a qualifying T-Mobile account, a T-Mobile line, and you also have to have $200 of qualifying deposits going into that account every month. And if you don't meet those requirements, you unfortunately won't be able to earn that 4%. But from what I was able to tell, once again, you still can earn that 1%. I believe anyone that is eligible and approved for an account can earn 1% on all their deposits. This is why this is currently one of the best checkings accounts or bank accounts out there. And to touch upon that, it is a checkings account, which gives you some advantages over savings accounts. We see with the high interest, high yield savings accounts with Ally Bank or other banks, there are deposit and withdrawal rules on those accounts. You usually only get 4 to 6 withdrawals every month. If you go over that, they will charge you. But with a checking account, you're free to move your money as you please in and out without any extra fees. And talking about no fees, this account has no monthly fee, unlike some of the more traditional bank accounts offered by larger banks. Wells Fargo, Chase, Bank of America may come with a $5, $10, $15 monthly fee that can be waived if you meet the requirements. This account does not have any fees, no minimum balances required, and it even gives you $50 in overdraft protection as long as you qualify for the 4% rewards. And there are also no ATM fees as long as you use the debit card and use an ATM that's within their network. No withdrawal restrictions, and it's FDIC insured up to $250,000 in your deposits, so you know that your money will be safe. T-Mobile's not trying to run any scams here. So, so far, everything sounds pretty good. If you're a T-Mobile customer, you can earn $120 a year. If you're not a T-Mobile customer, you're still getting one of the best rates that you can. Although it's a measly 1%, we wish it was more. Still the best rates out there as of now, early 2021. There are some requirements, obviously, once again, to earn those extra rewards with the deposit requirements, with the T-Mobile connections. But overall, it's a pretty good bank account. And so far, my experience has been pretty good with it. Easy to sign up, took about 5 minutes. I got the debit card in the mail, some starter checks. But once again, what are the downsides? When I talk about things online, whether it be credit cards, whether it be loans, whether it be other resources that you can use, I always try to emphasize the fact that everyone out there is looking for something different. And especially with these online bank accounts, one of the larger downsides is that you don't get the traditional banking experience that some people may be used to or that some people may rely on. For example, you can't go into a physical location to deposit cash or to withdraw money. The cash deposits are a little bit more complicated. You don't get the service that you may get in person. Everything has to be done online. You have to call them through the help phone number. If you frequently get cashier's checks or money orders from the bank, I don't even know if you can do it through here. It might be a little difficult. And the list goes on and on. So obviously, if you have an existing banking relationship with one of the larger banks with physical locations, this might not be for you. But if you are just looking for a place to park your extra money, to earn some interest, you don't want to invest it, you think the stock market's too risky right now, or you already have other investments, this is kind of like your emergency fund, your safe stash. You're just trying to maximize your returns and not get scammed. I think it's a pretty good deal. And once again, there are the downsides. In addition to no physical locations, they do have online check deposits through the mobile app. But I do believe if it exceeds the limit that's allowed online, you have to mail the check in, and it obviously will take a couple days to process your deposits and to make sure that money is available to you. If you're somebody who does a lot of that, who needs quick access to their money very frequently, this account might present some more hassles for you as opposed to a traditional bank or traditional accounts. And before I end this video, I just want to touch upon why the online savings accounts can offer better rates than normal traditional banks. One reason is obviously they don't have to maintain in-person locations. They don't have to have a presence, lease out locations, hire bank tellers, hire bankers. Everything is done online. They don't really need a physical footprint, so they can save some money on their operations and give it back to you. Take it with a grain of salt when you see those marketing materials, those graphs that say, we offer, no fee accounts, 40 times the national interest rates, and they compare it to all these other banks that charge $10, $20. Just know that a lot of the times those charges can be waived with either transaction limits or minimum deposit requirements. And also, their business model is just a little bit different, not offering as high of a rate, but offering you other services as well. So it's just part of the marketing. But once again, if you're just looking for a place to park your money, great place. So far, I would recommend 1% is pretty high up there. And although there are those requirements for the deposits and the T-Mobile accounts, I think it's still better than other banks with requirements that we saw before. Like Redneck Bank a couple months ago had one of the better rates. There, the requirement was you had to use the debit card 10 times a month, which could add up, and it's not as easy for everybody. I think $200 deposit is a lot more doable for most people. If you get direct deposit, you just switch this account. Talking about direct deposit, they're also offering you up to 2 days early to get that money into your bank account if you have direct deposit set up. But if you don't have direct deposit, some other things you could do to automate the process is to set up a recurring transfer from another bank account into this account. I would say $200 or $201 just to make sure you're above the threshold. And then you might transfer out $199 just to make sure that you're not meeting any requirements. It is pretty easy to use. It doesn't have any fancy features. It's pretty bare bones. It'll show you exactly what your rewards rate is, exactly you're getting 4% on $3,000 and you're getting 1% on the other $5,000, whatever it may be. They have features to transfer money in and out. All your account information's all on there. So nothing too fancy, but once again, in my experience, it works. It's worked for me. I haven't had any big complaints about the app. So that was my review of the T-Mobile Money checkings account, early 2021. One of the best rates you'll find out there, hands down, if you're able to just meet those couple requirements every month. Even if you're not able to, still a pretty good rewards rate. But thanks so much for watching today. If there's anything else I missed, any other accounts you want me to check out, be sure to let me know down in the comments. If you liked the video, thought it was useful, be sure to hit that like button. Get subscribed if you're not subscribed around here. Don't miss out on any future videos. Thanks for watching. Peace.